Indiana Jones, It's a podcast about Indiana Jones. Every movie, 1 minute at a time. The Indiana Jones Minute.
Welcome back to the Indiana Jones Minute. This is the podcast where we try our best to pivot our way through Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade 1 minute at a time. I'm Pete Mummert.
I'm Tom Taylor.
I'm Gerald Christopher St. Eligius, patron saint of numismatists.
Whoa.
That's right. Yeah.
Coin collectors.
If you're a coin collector, it doesn't mean you're going straight to hell. There's hell.
Does that mean the same if you're a murderer as well? Because yesterday you had the patron saint of murderers.
Patron saint of murderers.
patron.
And, well, let's be fair, and jugglers.
Yeah.
And jugglers.
And
yeah.
jugglers.
And
yeah,
murdering
and
As
jugglers.
you're saying that like there's a difference, Jerry.
Well, when they pass out who's a patron saint of what and who, you got to give some of the light,
Yeah.
some of the dark. You know?
Okay.
You're the patron saint of spearmint. And
Oh.
They get a patron saint?
no, I don't know.
All right. This will all
They
be
don't
cut
get a
out.
patron saint. No, they do go straight to hell. See,
Okay.
Porter.
Oh, great. And today we're joined by a good friend of mine, a man with many talents, including playing the accordion and a very golden voice. I just heard the chimes strike 12, so it must be midnight. Welcome back to the Indiana Jones Minute, Josh Horowitz.
Hey guys, thanks for having me on again.
Yeah.
Oh, totally.
Hello.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we had
so
you.
welcome
in the,
back.
we had the bird alarm with you, I think, or the snake alarm
The
last time we
snake
talked to you in
alarm.
Temple of Doom. Yeah.
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
that's right.
I still don't understand that. I'm still blown away by that. That's just weird.
Yeah, totally.
Snake
Well, I'm just so
moves,
glad
got an
that you
alarm.
guys were able to bring me back on, to talk about Raiders of the Lost Ark and the amazing desert chase with the horse and the truck.
Yeah.
Yeah, we figured we might as well revisit it. Yeah.
And for those of you listening at home, that Raiders Minute is minute 90, actually, of Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, surprisingly.
Oh.
Wait, this is Last Crusade. Oh, okay.
Oh, jeez. This is awkward.
And minute 90 begins with a convoy of military vehicles being trailed by several men running on foot because a very brave and unsung hero took their 5 camels. And it ends with Vogel's tank in hot pursuit of Indy's horse.
Do any of you guys know what country those green and red flags are in the convoy? They're on the flags that are on the tanks and the jeeps and all
Is
that.
it,
Yes.
is it
Yeah, no,
Hatay?
Yes, it's supposed to be the
That's
Republic
close.
of Hatay, or is it Hatay?
Yeah,
That's
I think
that's
it's-
actually
hi.
close, but it's not. It's not Hatay or Hatay.
Hatay.
I like it when I get Pete.
I know, it's a special moment. No, actually, I looked it up. It's the Republic of Bull. Those are totally made up.
I would
Totally
expect their
not- and
flag
what-
to look totally different.
Well, here's
Yeah.
what's interesting. We talk about Hatay, and it was a real place in like 1938, 1939. It was like Eskedron, Alexandretta was there, as well as Antioch. It's like around Syria, Turkey. But the Republic of Hatay flag, they do have their own flag, or they did, and
Uh-huh.
it's red with a white crescent moon on it.
Mm.
Oh.
So, yeah, they just made these ones up.
Yeah.
It's Lucas's attention to detail.
Yeah.
Just like in the Star Wars movies, you see
Yeah.
the Imperial symbol everywhere. So here they're gonna plaster that on all the tanks and everything. Very
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. And didn't they have a bunch of flags in Phantom Menace for the pod racing?
Yes, that's right.
Oh, yeah.
So are flags just a staple of Lucas then?
Maybe.
Every day is Flag Day at Lucasfilm.
So we get this convoy, and Donovan breaks off, right?
Well,
Yeah.
he orders.
So
It
yeah.
sounds like he's ordering the other guys to break off.
Is that right?
Oh,
right.
really?
I'm not sure. I don't remember. He says something like, "To the left, over there," or something.
Well, they're in the
Well,
one vehicle that, they're the only ones ill-prepared for any kind of violent chase thing.
Yeah.
Like they're just in a sedan, they're just in a car. Everybody else is like military of some sort. So I assume they were just splitting off. Like, okay, we'll meet you at the Crescent Moon. Go kill
Yeah.
Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
Well,
Love you.
well, this is what I was bringing up. He never dirties his chemise, does he?
Oh no,
I mean,
no.
he's
not that kind of bad guy.
always a spectator. And even when we had yesterday, like he opens up, the tank, and he's like, Colonel Jones is getting away, and you're like, well, dude, go get him.
Yeah, what do you want me to do? I'm slapping an old man.
Yeah, it's just Johnny says what he sees. I mean, go get him.
Well, I mean, if it is truly a callback to Raiders of the Lost Ark, you got to remember, did Belloc get his hands dirty during that scene also? I mean, he
That's a
basically
good
looks
point.
just like him.
Yeah.
He does actually,
point.
yeah.
Yeah.
In a
Yeah.
similar
White
car,
suit on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, are there any scarecrows, though, that are inside that trap?
Oh my God. Has there been like an Elsa scarecrow in this movie? I don't think so.
There was that weird guy sitting on the back end of the caboose.
Oh God, yeah, there
the
was.
beginning.
Oh, that
Yeah.
was creepy. Yeah.
Well, I don't get it. Wait, Tom. What is so scary about these scarecrows?
Very good question.
They're just there, and they've been hiding in my favorite movies for decades. And then they just sort of appear there when I look 1 minute at a time. They look into my soul, and they tell me all the wrong
Yeah.
things I've done.
That's weird.
awful.
Yeah, we had the Willy one, right? In Temple of Doom.
Oh,
That might be
That
the
was
worst
horrible.
one. That was really actually scary.
that one was scary.
It
Yeah.
really unnerved me. The Tote one is like crazy and weird and kind of exciting. Like, oh my God, look at this weird thing I just found. And it happened like live on the air, like as we were talking about it, we saw it. But like, yeah, the Willy one is just so weird. It looks like literally something out of like The Ring or something.
Yeah.
Just like this just boogeyman hanging out in the back of the movie.
There's something
Anywho,
deathly about it.
Yeah.
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 And she's like in a bridal thing, which never goes
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
Did you guys know that the tank driver is D-Day from Animal House?
Oh, here we go. I just found out that D-Day, the character in Animal House, was fashioned after Dan Aykroyd, who was in Temple of Doom, starring Steven Spielberg from The Blues Brothers, which also features
Really?
Dan Aykroyd
Nice
as
connection.
D-Day.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Oh, that's weird. I mean, like that, to me, I don't remember. I haven't looked up D-Day. Well, not in the last week, but that guy looks exactly like D-Day.
That's funny. I was actually trying to come up with some funny guy that he looks like, and it's exactly D-Day. You're right.
So you're talking about Droopy McMustache, that guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the tank driver. I
Yeah.
guess.
Goggles McMustache. Yeah.
Exactly.
And is
I thought he
supposed
looked
to
like
be-
something out of Big Trouble in Little China.
He
he's got
totally
the,
does.
the
Oh,
droopy
yeah,
mustache.
yeah,
Yeah, like that kind
He
of
totally
headband.
does.
Totally.
Yeah. Is he supposed to be from Hatay?
Yeah, I looked him
yeah.
up actually. I saw he's called the Turkish tank driver.
Okay.
Really?
Figures.
I even looked him up. Apparently, he's played by somebody named Peter Pacey. He's just some English actor who did TV parts.
Huh.
Wow.
Good for him.
Yeah.
He's got a mustache.
Yeah. Well, there it is.
It's interesting though that Vogel's giving orders to these Hatay soldiers.
Yeah.
in their vehicles.
And that they understand him.
Yeah, in
Well,
German.
they understand German.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although a lot of people in the late 30s, a lot of countries had German military advisors, so maybe this is a
Oh, okay.
common thing.
Yeah, I never put that together until, watching it for this, that, they got a lot of gear and trucks and tanks and stuff from, the Sultan. And so, I guess a lot of these guys are not Nazis. They're the Hatay guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much all the vehicles have that symbol on it. So,
Right,
yeah.
right.
But
All that for a car.
Yeah, right.
Well,
So in-
Phantom,
in-
Rolls Royce, whatever.
Raiders, did they have to get the get the head of Egypt's permission to go digging
Didn't
for the
seem
ark?
like it.
Well, that would have been
mean
tough
Shishak?
because the head of Egypt was like British, like under British control. So it
Oh,
would've
that's a
been-
good point.
You're
Oh,
playing
right.
it safe this time around.
Which all I can think is they want something that he has in addition to the Grail, so they have to treat him well. They want some kind of
Right.
resources he has in his country or something that they want to make sure he's happy.
Now, have you guys talked about the tank at all yet?
Just briefly.
Because I looked this
Yeah.
one up, and I don't know how much you like to look down at the Indiana Jonesopedia or that thing online, but apparently it's a
Not heard of it.
1917 Mark 7 tank, but the interesting thing that I read is that apparently its presence in the film is actually a remnant of that old script, the Indiana Jones and the Monkey King that Chris Columbus did.
Oh, wow.
But in that version, Indy actually rides a rhinoceros instead of a horse against it.
Wow. That's funny.
Yeah.
And Pete, you were saying that they were having trouble because the horse is so much faster than the tank.
Right, the tank
like I wonder if a
the Mark
rhino would be a
7
lot slower.
tops out at 6 miles an hour. And I think the one they custom built the one for this movie, and I think it was a little bit faster, but it was still way slower than the horse. So I think they had a lot of trouble making it look like this was a crazy fast chase.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Although it's funny too, like the point of the chase isn't that it's fast. It's like that Indy's messing him up by just being more maneuverable and stuff. And
Right.
he does this big arc, and then they run into each other and stuff, and
Right.
it works.
Yeah.
I mean, the funny thing is that, Vogel, he keeps saying, Schnell, quickly.
Yeah.
I mean, but yeah, the tank's going about 5 miles an hour. The horse is going to go about 25, so.
I'm Schnelling.
I mean, you can walk. Can a person walk about 5 miles an hour, like 5 miles an hour, pretty easily? Like you could just walk beside the
I mean
tank.
that's like that's like a very quick clip
Yeah.
if you're walking.
Yeah.
Power
It'd be pretty fast. Yeah, it'd be really power walking.
Yeah.
I do like the green machine turning controls for this tank.
Oh yeah. No, this is this guy. He plays Battlezone, the video game Battlezone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Exactly the same controls.
Yeah.
But I was
love
thinking,
his outfit too.
I mean, this sequence here, this might be some more Fever Dream material.
Huh.
I mean, you've got Indy circling around a big steel beast to try to trip it up.
I like that. Yeah.
Not bad. Go for the shreds.
At second 12, it's one of those indie shots. Is he riding a broomstick horsey?
It does look like he's not. I think the horse looks real, but the act of him riding doesn't look real.
Something's really weird there.
It does look. Yeah. That
like
does look
he's
weird.
and like he's going with his mouth.
Yeah, he's just slapping his lap like.
Would that make it a horse scarecrow?
Yes. I watched that again and again, and like,
inescapable.
there's a horse and it's running around. That's awesome. That's beautiful. The big. What's going on? And then it'd go back like, there's a horse again in the big desert scape.
Yeah. But in that shot, I like twice in this 1 minute, he looks over his shoulder, and I can't tell if he's laughing or if he's just sort of like grimacing with like horse riding determination. Or
The second
something.
time he's
But
laughing.
it seems
he's
like
100% laughing.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
the second time he's laughing because
Yeah.
the car just got stuck on the tank. But I can't tell if he was the first time or not.
Yeah, I think
On
you're
his
right.
fake
I was
horse.
wondering that too.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just sheer joy that he can relive that scene from the first movie.
Yeah. I do well on horses in deserts against Nazis.
And then the second one is remembering like the guy that smiled at him and he punched him off the cliff. This is like, it seems like anytime in one of these movies, somebody dies in an unusual way or gets injured really badly in an unusual way, he laughs or he smiles. Like he seems to really enjoy that. Yeah.
He loves it.
And so when that
He
Kugelwagen
is
gets
sick.
stuck on the front of the tank, he loves it.
Though this is like the first movie, though, that he gets kind of disapproval from his dad, though, when he starts having fun with, with taking out some of the bad guys.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
What if he was like a really sadistic kid? And that's why Henry's like, this is just like when you would, torture squirrels and stuff in the backyard, you sick monster. You'd think it was hysterical. And
Well, this Indy's turnaround mischief, that's a real old school trick, isn't it?
It's a nice trick. Yeah.
It is a nice trick. It's very old timey.
Yeah.
Did they let me, Tommy, you're my weather vane here on silliness. Does this work? Did they pull it off? Is this a good trick?
I totally think so.
Oh,
and by the way, this is, I don't know if somebody was going to mention this, but it just occurred to me. This is total Carbonite dream theory. This is Han Solo tripping up the Star Destroyers in Empire.
Yeah, you're right. Nice.
Oh, wow.
Almost colliding into each
there
other.
There we go. Yeah, sure.
Oh, you're right. I have this as like that's a real Roscoe P. Coltrane moment.
Them Joneses.
I was thinking,
You see Indy taking his hat off and throwing it in the dust and stuff.
Yeah.
totally. When the car goes up on the turret and it's all, now I don't know about them Duke boys, but moonshine's still gonna make a hound break.
Well, that horn on the German car, you expect to be something crazy, which it's
Yeah.
like those. I can't imagine that car would have had the auga horn on it like that.
Well, wouldn't it just do like dur, 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 dur?
This plays Edelweiss.
Deutschland über
In
alles.
Austria, they play that.
All right.
Kind of real fun. And
So I have a question here at the part where the mischief happens, and the Vogel says, sehr gut, yeah, and then he's got those bulging eyes and he screams, but honestly though, I mean, does he really have anything to fear by this collision? I mean, number one, he's in this huge freaking tank that's going 5 miles an hour, and the cars are probably going about that speed if they want to just catch up with him. So
Yeah, I agree. And it is like a classic Spielberg shot. Like so many movies have that guy that just looks weird when he's scared, and like his eyes bulge out and his neck gets really long, and he just looks crazy. And he just looks so classic Spielberg right here.
Yeah.
Well,
and-
great
and-
with the bulging eyes, yeah.
Yeah,
and Vogel, he covers his eyes like all Nazis do right before their
Yeah.
demise.
Well, so did
Or
does that
danger.
mean that the Brotherhood of the Cruciform Sword guys in the boats were Nazis?
Oh, because they were doing the same
They
thing.
covered their eyes.
Oh
too.
yeah.
Don't look at it.
Well, it's not that only Nazis can do it, but Nazis
Yeah.
always do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always figured that's what you do if your soul is not prepared.
Yeah. I don't want to see what's going to happen to my
Sounded
soul.
like a logic puzzle.
I think if your soul
Not
is
only
prepared,
Nazis do it, but all Nazis
Okay.
do it. So how many?
Billy's a
Nazis?
Nazi and he covers his eyes. Jimmy is not a Nazi.
I think
but
you
he
know what
covers his eyes.
Goofus covers his eyes. Gallant doesn't cover his eyes.
Gallen's soul is just fine, so he can.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to cover
Well
his eyes.
done, Jerry. Goofus and Gallant reference.
Well, speaking of Goofus and Gallant and reputations, do you think Vogel has a really bad reputation? Because that guy in the car stuck on the turret is trying desperately to get out, like he knows exactly what's about to happen.
Oh yeah.
This isn't going to go well.
Yeah.
Is
That's a
that
good
guy like is that guy hurt or harmed? Like is
I would
part of him
imagine so.
impaled or is he just sort of shook up?
Yeah, they really linger on him, don't they? I mean, he's got to
They
have
do.
like multiple lacerations, contusions.
Yeah.
It is a little weird. They like go out of their way to show you, yeah, there's still a living, breathing human being in this car that's about to get, shot off this tank.
Who's
Spoilers.
scrambling to get out?
Yeah, you see
Yeah.
his arm
All he
like
wants
trying
to
to
do
open the
is
door,
live.
and but you
Yeah.
never see if
How's
he
that
gets
gonna
out
go?
or not. I kind of hope he gets out.
I'm sure he'll be fine.
Yeah, they don't ever show that sort of thing in the Dukes of Hazzard.
No.
The car goes in the lake and everybody had their seatbelts on, so they're dead.
Or they say, "Help!
No.
I'm very badly burned, but I'm still alive."
No, they all have to jump out of the car so they can, kick their hats and, kick the water and kick the car.
Have the
shake their
basset
fists,
hound give a disapproving look.
cover his face in his paws disapprovingly.
So I like the fact that the car actually, it flips backwards on the tank because the tank was still moving forward. But, normally wouldn't they just stop, get out, exchange insurance information at this point?
Yeah.
Bad
Yeah.
form.
Yeah. And is the driver from Hatay or is the driver a German of the car?
Oh,
Oh, of the car.
Yeah.
Oh, good question. I don't know.
looks a little German.
Yeah.
I always assumed
It's hard to
he
tell a
was.
lot of these guys.
Well, so
like,
okay, so
they seem
how
to be
many
pretty
people?
loosey-goosey with who's who.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel really weird when Indy a few minutes back, Indy punches. He gets on the horse and he punches that guy and the other guy from Hatay.
Yeah.
And I'm like, they're not Nazis. What are you doing?
Yeah,
I
they're in
mean, I
league
know
with the
they're.
Nazis. I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
And he wanted that horse really badly,
They did.
so he punched that guy.
Hey,
Now he
speaking
gets the
of
horse.
wanting horses really badly, Josh.
Mm.
This is from yesterday, but what do you think about the no camels?
Oh, the fact that they took. Oh wait, why?
Just
Why they said
yeah,
no camels?
Yeah, what's? I mean, we know that it's Salah's brother-in-law needs compensation, but what do you think of the joke?
Yeah.
How
I don't
does
know,
it read?
Maybe at one time Indy fell into a vat full of camels.
That's a
Yeah,
perfect answer.
they cut that part out.
I don't know. They're mean and ornery, and they spit, and it's another thing to get in the way, maybe.
He just knew that Salah wanted them, and he didn't want Salah to be happy.
Oh,
It's sad.
now that's not his brother Omar, though. This is somebody else.
This is somebody else. Yes, let's go.
This has been a point of
His
contention.
technically his brother-in-law.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, he's not. Stop.
Yeah, Jerry and I hold it as Omar. Tom.
Why?
Although he
Like,
could- he
why do
could-
we? Why do we draw these? We're all supposed to be friends. Why do we draw
I
these
know, it's
crazy
funny.
lines in the sand?
I know,
The
no,
hell with Omar.
at least
I
you
love
guys
you
came
guys.
to
Why do we have
consensus,
to have
though.
these things come between us?
At least you came to consensus about the location of Marshall College or Barnett College.
Yeah, we tucked that one to bed. Yeah.
Oh, I have no idea what you're
We
talking
did?
about. When did that happen?
Yeah.
I think we just stopped.
Well, at least we
caring.
don't argue about Quint's who started the fire in the boat.
Oh. You know what? The only thing that's okay about all these arguments is I know I'm right. So for each and every one of these. So it is kind of fun in a way. Patreon.com/Indiana Jones Minute.
What do you guys think of the music during this sequence? We start to hear the sort of cool tank theme from.
Yeah, once
Williams.
the car gets impaled on the turret, then the tank march comes in. It's pretty badass.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's cool. I like
Yeah.
the music.
In fact, all the sounds in this are pretty amazing. Like the tank sounds are crazy and good. And everything,
Yeah.
the music.
Yeah. Do you guys know if they got any Academy Awards for sound in this one? I mean, it's just so visceral, very Ben Burt
Yeah.
type stuff.
Yeah, I'm not
That's
sure.
a good
actually.
question.
Yeah.
My computer happens to be connected to every other computer in the world, so I'm going to see if I can access the mainframe and bypass the. You guys talk. I'm going to look this up.
Well, and when
There was
the tank first impales the Kubelwagen, it sounds like the Imperial March starting up.
It does.
Oh.
Almost exactly.
Yeah.
Right. Dum dum da dum. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, Pete, tell me more about this Klugelwagen.
Oh,
What is
it's actually anachronistic. It didn't come out until 1940 or 41. But it was a Volkswagen, if you use the German
Volkswagen.
pronounce it.
Yes.
Volkswagen, if you're in America.
Beetlebug Punch.
Okay.
And it Kubelwagen means like tub wagon because it was just like a big bathtub kind of, and they were like kind of lightweight, and they used them to haul things, or they used them, and like the German army used them a lot.
Hey, I broke into the internet and I have the information about.
Oh, good.
It was nominated for sound mixing and original score, and it won for best sound editing.
Aha.
Look at that.
Oh,
Wow.
wow.
Well done.
Another
Yeah.
one for
Fascinating.
Ben Burt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's one of those one of the like the tank shells hits, it hits the side of the canyon or the rock, and it reverberates all through with this great echo.
Yeah.
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 I can't remember if it was today or yesterday, but it is fantastic. As you said, Josh, visceral.
Mm-hmm.
And then at
even-
the end of this minute, like Indy gets this sort of maniacal look that comes over his face, like he sees something.
Yeah. That's weird.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's weird. I mean, we can talk about it, I guess, next minute. But like what he actually sees and what he's reacting to.
Yeah,
Right.
It's a
Yeah.
great idea, but what?
Well,
It
they
went-
do
yeah,
call
Just
out,
like those
Exactly.
cliffhangers from the 30s.
and in the
Find out
script
what
they
he's
do
looking at,
call out
kids.
that the turret, the side gun on the tank doesn't pivot all the way. And so I
Yeah,
think
that
that's
guy's
one of the
really
things.
he's struggling to just
Yeah.
try to move that gun.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's heavy. Just
And
from
I don't
the
know if it
sound
d-
of it.
Yeah, yeah. And I was curious if it didn't move because that it was designed not to move very far, or if the guy just like it was broken or something already.
I mean, how do you even see anything out of that tank? I mean, this is supposed to be something from World War One. I mean, these things were literally just these huge armored boxes. You had very poor visibility. The things went slow, and
Yeah.
interesting
Which
that they
is
went
ca-
with that design.
It's kind of
Yeah.
funny because imagining you're taking over a country with this really slow, big, boxy tank that you can't really see out of. You just like pull right into the center of town and like, that's right, I'm here.
Yeah. Honk once for surrender, twice for resistance.
Like the town people get around you and they start pushing you out of town.
Siphon off your gas.
Yeah, very slowly start rocking you out of town.
Because it's hard to imagine what this thing would be good for other than like killing people in trenches in World War One.
Yeah, I think it was kind of like it was kind of a mowing thing.
Yeah, you could drive over
They
them.
just kind of drive. Yeah, great for terrains, especially desert terrain.
I think it was just a direct response to just getting mowed down by all those machine
Yeah.
guns. You
Sure.
you feel sort of safe in that thing, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
But an interesting thing. I'm actually listening to a couple of other podcasts these days. There's one I'm listening to that's like the history of World War II, which is kind of interesting, and they talk about how there was the last time in history when horses were actually going up against tanks in battle, and that happened during the attack on Poland in 1939. The Poles actually had cavalry, and they did charges apparently against the tanks.
Jeez.
I don't think that lasted too long.
Yeah.
Boy.
Indy does remarkably well here.
He does.
Yeah.
He does.
And he's tickled pink.
Yeah.
He's having a ball.
Yeah.
I like to see Indy tickled pink.
Yeah.
I mean, yes,
Yeah.
he's being a little bloodthirsty and whatever, but these people are trying to kill him, and
Yeah.
it's just nice to see a smile on his face. He doesn't smile that often.
Yeah. I agree.
But there's not enough Marcus, and there's not enough Henry Jones Sr. in this. We get a tiny glimpse of it, but
Right.
yeah. So I'm still catching up fully with this season. So I know that sort of Jerry, your view on Marcus has sort of gone up and down. What is it at this point for you? Would you say?
I'm not sure it has. I think it's just
Yeah,
Gone
my
straight
view
down
on
and
Marcus
stayed there.
is my view of Marcus is it's in the gutter.
Oh,
And everybody has, they give me an olive branch of like, no, there's like those 3 seconds where he's neat. Sure. Okay, there's those 3 seconds where he's neat.
he thought he was a goof from the very beginning, and he doesn't get to be a goof until the
No,
schedule or something.
that's true. We had a Marcus watch, and that's true. He was fine.
We threw that out the
liked him.
window.
It's hopeless. Category 5 hurricane Marcus storm.
Yeah, something broke our Marcus meter.
Yeah.
Yep. But
and he does get a little goofier. When he's with
Well,
him,
he
he
does.
seems to get a
Yeah.
little goofier too. That
Yeah.
whole Genius of the Restoration. bit
Yeah.
and all
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
the interesting
Which
thing is,
ironically I kind of like. I like that
yeah,
moment.
that didn't bother me. It didn't bother me. That was fine. It was fine. Like, sure.
Yeah. You guys are both a little capricious. Like I can never pin down what you're going to like or dislike in these.
Yeah.
Well,
How do you
yeah,
think I feel? I wasn't expecting to like that.
If it's stupid, I don't like it.
Yeah. There you go. Rock on, Jerry.
Yeah, get out of my way. Well,
Pete,
okay,
what's-
all right. You can. So, what do you think, Josh? Am I overreacting here?
I don't know. He's definitely a different character in Last Crusade. I think a lot of characters who come back to sort of change to this lighthearted view of the Indiana Jones universe in here. I think it works. I think it's kind of fun. We get a good taste of him like he was in the first movie, and he gets to loosen up a bit. He acts as a sort of a little bit of a comic sidekick, but I'm okay with it.
And how's the Sala report?
Sala, yeah. Not enough Sala. I mean,
Yeah.
I think that he had a much better role in the first movie. Here, it's kind of fun just to see him, and he's wearing the same outfit, and he's got some of the humor going. But yeah, I feel like there could have been a lot more there.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Yeah.
lastly, Elsa.
Elsa, she's tough because I think she's a good character, especially in the first part of the movie. And then once she kind of turns a little bad, then I don't know, her impact kind of goes down a little bit. But she looks good. She's got a pretty cool accent, and I kind of like how the ending works, which you guys will get to at one point.
Uh-huh.
Do
But,
you think
Marion's
that,
still my favorite.
Yeah.
Do you think
of
that
course.
Elsa is a Nazi, or do you think that she's sort of on this? She has an arc where maybe she changes, or
Yeah,
is she really all about the Grail, and she just allies herself with the Nazis to get the Grail, kind of in Belloc fashion. Or is she
Yeah.
a Nazi first?
Nah, I think she's very opportunistic. You're right. She'll basically, go on whatever team will help her get her Grail. And I don't
Okay.
think she's a card-carrying member of the Nazi party, but she hangs out with the bad guys. And she's Austrian.
Well, speaking of hanging out with the bad guys,
Oh,
this just in, coming over the wires from Professor Christy Porter. Oh, look at this. Why did they decide to make the tank driver D-Day from Animal
Get out of
House?
here. That's not what it says.
Actually, it is.
Are you dead serious?
I'm dead serious. I'm
You guys
dead
should be married,
serious.
you and your sister.
It's actually really crazy. I'm
That's hysterical.
dead serious.
Wow.
Now, is
I
it
like
the
it.
mustache or the goggles? If you took the mustache
Yeah.
off and put it on, Fogel, would that make
Yeah.
him D-Day?
Well, there's a
thinking.
scene in the
Oh,
end of
maybe.
Animal House where I think it's the mustache or the goggles, and he's like barreling
He's in a tank, basically,
in a
yeah.
tank, basically. I think you got a threefer: mustache, goggles, and a tank. The trifecta. It's the D-Day hat trick.
that was nice. And talking about hat tricks, you've got a
Pete goes, well, that was nice.
Thank you, Jerry.
Well done.
Please go to the end of the line. Thank you for.
Here's a red rubber ball.
And speaking of hat tricks, Josh, you've got 3 podcasts I really enjoy. You've got 12 Chimes It's Midnight. You've got
Yes.
5 Minutes of Trouble and 5 Minutes of Banzai.
That's right. Yeah, we just finished 5 Minutes of Banzai. Got through that 5 minutes at a time for the adventures of Buckaroo Banzai across the 8th dimension. And but we continue to do stuff for 12 Chimes It's Midnight. That's the old time radio series that we do, all original scripts and episodes that my co-host on the 2 5-minute shows that I do, Brett Stillo, he's a part of that. He does writing, he does acting. And yeah, please check out that one. That's at 12chimesradio.com. And the other ones are 5minutesofbanzai.com and the one we do for Big Trouble in Little China, which is 5minutesoftrouble.com.
Yeah, and Jerry and Tom and I have all been on 5 Minutes of Trouble and 5 Minutes of Banzai.
Yeah.
And I'm a huge fan of 12 Chimes. You guys do some
thank you.
amazing work on there, too. That's some fun stuff.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. When are you guys going to be a part of that?
Oh, I'd love to be
give
part
us
of
a
that.
call.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
And if you want to hear some of our scary stories, come on to our Patreon show, patreon.com/Indiana Jones Minute, or just go to our website and click on the tab for Patreon or support the show or whatever we have it called. And you can listen to us talk about some scary stories from our childhood involving several other Steven Spielberg movies. So check us out there, and check us out here again Monday for minute 91 of Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade here on the Indiana Jones Minute.
Schnell!
Scarecrow!
Tommy, do the horse gallop again.
I can't. I'm running away, Jerry. See you later, suckers.